Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide. Well, it's cleaning house time after the whole move thing and everything that I've already mentioned in the Supernote update. We are now on Remarkable, and there's been several updates throughout the past couple of months that have accumulated. So in this video, I am covering the updates 3.3, 3.4, and 3.5 on the Remarkable platform. So let's see what are the features of each of these updates and where the platform is now. All right, so let's get going and let's start with the features from the update 3.3. And this was a small update. That one actually added the option to add a bold if you want for some of the text, or italics, right? And you could do the same thing via the standard shortcuts on the keyboard. So if you select words, you do Control B for bold, toggling on and off, and you can also do this Control I for italics, and yeah, then you have this kind of formatting options, and the same thing can be done, I believe, from the apps as well. The second improvement of update 3.3 is that now we have the indication of how much we are zooming when you're zooming, and also the responsiveness and the precision of just controlling this has been improved as well. So that's something that was also added, and then you could tap it to kind of reset it back to default. And finally, this option I won't show because I do have some recent email lists there, and I don't want to do the editing process of hiding the email addresses and things like that. But basically, when you're sharing your whatever it is, notebook, PDF, or anything like that, and you send it by email, you will have your list of recent contacts that you've used to send, and now you finally have an option to just kind of clear all of that. So yeah, that's a long overdue, but a welcome thing to see. Now on to the features overview of the update 3.4, and there's actually quite a few things that have been added in 3.4. The most important one is actually the addition of, in the adjust view, we have fit to custom view. And what that actually allows you to do is when you go into fit to custom view mode, you now need to set the custom view, and you do that by zoom and pan to adjust the range, the page, and you do that with your standard 2-finger gestures, right? So now what I can do is, this is an indication of my Remarkables screen, and I can just kind of adjust it until I'm happy. So let's say that I'm happy with this, and I go set. Now the entire document has been set to that custom view or custom zoom, because it is not really cropping or things like that, but it is just a custom zoom level. And most importantly, it is persistent through the document. This is definitely a welcome thing to see, and it's like a desperately needed thing that to kind of give some attention, at least some attention, to the PDF handling and formatting on the Remarkable, which is still desperately lacking when compared to the competitors. The problem here is that we still don't have the option of, if we go to landscape view, right? Set to landscape. And first of all, yeah, I can't really adjust the orientation of it, but okay, if I can be okay with that, if I go to my custom view here, and I just went to fit to width, which is something that I would like to do, the natural inclination would be to swipe page not for the next page, but actually to look down next. Now, granted, yes, you can do this, but it is extremely distracting with the refresh, how the refresh is being done, especially on content that's even just text. I mean, if you look at this, the panning refreshing is not being done correctly, because it's just really strange how the system is handling that, as opposed to how the system refreshes when you flip a page. So what I would expect to see is either the option to, when you're in landscape mode and the system detects, hey, I am not showing the end of my custom view that you would prefer, that you go down to the, when you swipe down, you go down the page, and then when you reach the end of page, your swipe page will bring you to the next page on the top of the page. That's normal, and then multiple platforms already have that for a very, very long time. But the second thing that I think is really important to see is, and maybe even more important than this, is the way that the refresh is being done when you are in this mode, because this is, for me at least, extremely distracting and something that, I don't want to use, because I need to, it's a two-step wait, it's unappealing, and it just seems that it's not working properly. So if you have a refresh that should look like this, yes, it's a bit slow, but it works fine. This is not good. Next thing that has been added is basically the updated filters for your search functionality. So now in filters, you can filter between notebooks, PDFs, and ebooks. So you could go like, I just want to look at my PDFs, and then you can further refine that by using tags if you have tags in this. So for example, for me, if I have a notebook and then I have some tags, I haven't added any tags because this is a freshly reset device, but yeah, that's basically something that you can do so that you can kind of check all of that. And if you want to go back to seeing your complete organization with the folder structure, you can always go back to My Files. Highlighter has also received the option of not snapping to text. So while you still do have the option to snap to text, which is something that some people liked or disliked, I actually like the option of having that ability. You also have now the option of turning that off and having all of your imprecise squiggly highlighting to your heart's content. Documents have now been updated to actually synchronize while you are while they are open. So I can write, and in the background it will be, at least they say it will be synchronizing. There's no more need to exit the document and then wait for the synchronization, because as you can see, you no longer have that synchronizing cloud icon thing. That in theory is a nice idea, but what I've noticed is that since the introduction of that feature, the synchronization functionality, which was never a super strong point with Remarkable, because it could get spotty, and if it does, then you really have some issues. I was fortunate enough that I never had those issues, but since that update, I started having almost consistent notifications, synchronization error 0 or something like that. And eventually it will work, but it's really distracting again to constantly have that pop-up of synchronization error, and it gives me a little bit of less confidence of knowing exactly what is being synchronized or not. And in addition to that, I think that maybe it would be a good idea to just have some sort of an indication, some very discrete sort of indication when your device is actually synchronizing while you're in a document, or the status, or the very least status of the synchronization. So I do recognize that if something is constantly blinking, that would be distracting. I wouldn't like that. So maybe instead of the original thing that I mentioned, which is like, is it synchronizing or not? Maybe the synchronization status of the document somewhere around here could be a good idea, to just have that as an understanding while your document is open, so that you know, my changes have been synchronized, or there's a problem and it hasn't been synchronized, so that you try to minimize the sense of uncertainty. Is everything synced up and working as it should be or not? And for the Typefolio owners, arrow navigation around the system has finally been added. So if you press your arrows up, down, left and right, you can actually choose between the documents that you have here, and enter is to enter into a document. Also, you can use space to select multiple ones or deselect them as well. And you can also use, how do you go back a folder? Close the document or folder. All right, that's not the nicest solution, but Control W is to close the folder. I think backspace would work far better for that navigation, but I do see the consistency between closing a document, but closing a folder, that's a little bit of a stretch as far as I'm concerned, as far as logic goes. But yeah, you can navigate to a document that you want, you can press enter, then it's there, then you Control V to exit, Control V to go back here, and you can also use the shortcut, which was what, to go home. There was something to go home. Nope. No, there's no home. So that would be also a nice thing to add a My Files shortcut, basically home shortcut, maybe Control H, so that you go home, and then you can get to that point at from anywhere that you are in the system. But this is a welcome thing to see. It was kind of strange not to have that to begin with, but yeah, better late than never. And finally, we're at the update 3.5 features overview, and the biggest change here is something they call new pencil case, and I like that name. And basically the user experience and user interface has been unified around the brushes or strokes tools and the eraser tools. So what that means is that you no longer have to go press under multiple things. You just press for the stroke that you want, and you can choose the pencil type, the stroke type, and the color that you want. And the same type of functionality here is on the eraser type, stroke size or erase size, and the option to erase all. I think that this is a really good addition, and I think that it simplifies and minimizes or lowers the number of clicks that you need to do in order to do these things. The only thing that I think would be maybe a nice addition is, how about a nice little plus sign right there, right here, a little plus, and then when you actually choose this, you plus, and then you add a little preset for the preset that you want. And for added presets, then you can have plus and minus. You go minus to remove the preset brush. That way, when you want to switch between your favorite 2-3 types of brushes, you don't have to do even this, because even here I might need to kind of switch around these things. Yes, your strokes are persistent. They will remember your settings. So if your highlighter is there, it will remember the color. My fine liner will remember the settings here. My ballpoint pen will remember the settings here. So that's not a problem. That all works. But it still requires a 2-step, which again, is not a big deal, but it's better to have just one step instead of 2. And that's something that we easily have room here for. I mean, just add ability to add 4 presets with a plus minus, and then you just work with that. I think it would be a nice thing to have in the whole user experience thing. As far as text formatting, they've added text formatting persistence, and this actually relates to the typed text that you do, either in the app or in the device itself. And what that means is that the text formatting is preserved when copying and pasting within notebooks. Previously, your formatting would have been gone doo-doo, but now that's no longer the case, so that's a good thing to see. Another thing that has been also kind of improved is this sidebar here, that while it's present, when it does appear, you can now use it to slide or scroll through the document, and you can use the finger, or you can even use the stylus to navigate through that. Performance is not the best. That is something that I've already talked about as far as a problem goes for this, but it is okay. It is, I think it actually works a lot better than this. This thing just simply doesn't work. So in my case, I think that because I really don't like this. This is not good. So instead, well, that's a bug. Come on, people. Come on. There we go. Oh, there we go. So I would still use the finger for this because it's not really that precise how the marker is going to be, and then you might end up with little scribbles around that. But yeah, the finger thing works. So, but can you just like, how would I easily access that without the need to go? Let's see. Could I just, let's wait for the sidebars to disappear. And let's get rid of the accidental scribbles. So let's say that I wanted to scroll. I can't. It would be nice if it was intelligent enough that while you're in a zoomed state of any sort, that as soon as you start touching here on the side, that the sidebar appears and you enter into that type of functionality. Because right now, I like the sidebar functionality and I prefer it to this way more, but I can't reach my sidebar until I enter the scrolling mode. I guess that's what it's called. So I can enter a scrolling mode either by flipping the page like this and wait for it to disappear, or 2 fingers for the navigation, I guess. Okay, and then once I'm there, I can again use the sidebars. I think that the performance for the sidebars is more acceptable than the swipe up thing, and as such they are a preferable way of using them. It's just that I don't have access to them when they are hidden. So some kind of easy solution would be a nice one, and for me the easiest one is, well, if you're in zoom state, just slide the document up and down and yeah, allow the scroll type of behavior, not this, because this sucks. And finally, when you go into the security settings, now we have the light sleep mode, and what that does is it displays content in sleep mode after 20 minutes of inactivity. This may reveal sensitive data, obviously. It's important to know, so this is extremely useful. Again, one of really important features that have been long overdue, like the custom templates. Like what? Anyway, the lack of custom templates really puzzles me. Why are they resisting that? But all right. The light sleep thing allows you to utilize the benefits of e-ink screen, which is it can just hold the last thing that was displayed while the device is effectively in a powered off state, or light sleep in this case. So that I think is really cool. But what would be also cool is to have like a screensaver option, because right now the only way that you can get into that light sleep option is, as they said, after 20 minutes it automatically goes there, and that's that, which is fine. But what could also be good is if you want to do power saving things, that you could choose to show the content while you are sleeping or while you are in sleep mode, so that your screensaver can be the opened last content if you so choose. Obviously, there are security concerns with that, so this would need to be used responsibly. But if they've opened the door for this functionality, well, then this one would also make quite a bit of sense. All right, so yeah, those are all okay updates. I mean, we got bold, we got italics, we got some navigation stuff going on, but definitely some of the stuff is kind of useful. But if I'm really honest, nothing really sticks out as a kind of big boom, va-voom kind of thing. But I guess the cumulative effect of all of these things is that they kind of improve the overall platform. The only one that actually sticks out to me is the user experience wise, the new pencil box. So the one from 3.5, that everything is unified in one place. I think that that's actually quite a nice thing. And also everything else is like stuff that I would have expected to be there in the first place, such as keyboard navigation, for example, zooming options, indication that there's a zoom, bold, italic. I mean, those are all really, really essential things when you're planning implementation of any kind of functionality. Those should have been there to begin with. So I can't really count them as some important updates. It's just more like fixes and completing the stuff that was incomplete. They're kind of trying to get it to be more complete, I guess. So yeah, that kind of stuff is okay. The sidebar, I mean, it's nice when it works, but to get to it, you can't get to it in a good way. This is a little bit uncommon for Remarkable to actually not do good user experience type of implementation, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. But that all of this kind of document navigation and zooming thing is like, I don't understand. Why did they do the zoom thing of the whole page that you can zoom out to see those invisible margins on the side? Because that introduced like this whole freaking Pandora box that they're now just fumbling about, update after update after update, trying to fix something that they broke instead of just making it simpler. To me, Remarkable is all about simplicity, distraction-free, and functionality, and I have absolutely no idea why are they still pushing that whole agenda of the zooming thing. I mean, you have fit to width, you have fit to height, and you add the swiping to the side so that it scrolls through the page. That's it. What else would you possibly need? Okay, you get the custom fit, fine. But everything else is just seems like they're fumbling in the dark for something, and that's not usual for Remarkable and the software development and the user experience. What's usual is that they ignore people and they kind of are very stubborn about something, so that part I get. The stubbornness I can see, for sure. Somebody's being really stubborn about this. But for the life of me, I do not understand why, as I do not understand the lack of the ability to have custom templates. I mean, on one hand, we have like Supernote adding hyperlinked 1760 pages PDFs as a template through a whole notebook, and it just works. And on the other hand, you have Remarkable that still doesn't even give you an option to put in a simple custom template without hacking the device. It's ridiculous at this point, completely ridiculous. Instead, they're focusing on this zooming and formatting thing and infinite pages and typing, and I don't really get it why. It seems like they've kind of lost the direction a little bit, and that they're now splitting the focus between the typefolio and the typing experience and things like that, and I'm not 100% certain that this is a good thing for them, because splitting focus complicates things, and splitting focus delays things, and splitting focus simply doesn't yield a better product and better results. So that's what I'm a little bit worried about, what's happening with Remarkable. But that being said, cumulatively, yep, these updates are good. There's also an upcoming update 3.6. I probably won't be updating that one because I'm in a beta program, and right now it's just a helper kind of feature guide tool tutorial thing that's there. And if that's the thing, then I'm just going to skip over that one and include it when the 3.7 comes with some more meaningful updates, because yeah, I can make like a 1 minute video. It's like, here's update 3.6, bye. So yeah, we'll see if when that comes out of beta that actually holds something more or not. But yeah, that's basically where the Remarkable stands at this point in time. I hope you liked the video and that you found it informative or useful. If you did, please like and subscribe and ding the notification bell to get notified when new videos come out on mydeepguide. Also, check out the mydeepguide.com/shop, where you can find My Daily Organizer, or MDO, which is a hyperlinked PDF file to satisfy all of your organizing needs. And you can also find MP, which is My Deep Guide Meeting Planner, or My Meeting Planner, which is also a hyperlinked PDF file which helps you centralize, simplify, and organize your meeting plans, needs, and everything else. If you're interested to check out more about these products, you can see the links in the description below for dedicated playlists for each of these products, and that will help you understand if either or both of them or neither are the right choice for you. Either way, purchasing of these products directly supports the independence of My Deep Guide, so I thank you for that. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!